Shit, they done let me in the door. They done gave your boy a chance, now the youngin' finna blow. It's a shame finna put the game in the figure four. Youngin' fresh from out that dollar.
Yo, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You got like, you got a comment, but I do appreciate it if you're just subbing and feeling that. In this video, I'll be talking about Attack on Titan, but I'm particularly talking about Attack on Titan getting an anime original ending. So I think I'm finally able to wrap my head around on how weirdly the See You Later timeline was implemented into the anime. As we all know, the See You Later timeline was never a part of the anime until just now, specifically Attack on Titan Final Season Part 3 Core 1, which at this point they're just calling it Part 4. And with us seeing the See You Later timeline be implemented into the anime so late, it definitely caused a lot of people to no longer believe in AOE. And I will admit that I started to question the idea of Attack on Titan getting an anime original ending. And it's all because of the things that was being said, shown, and foreshadowed, so therefore I can understand why people would lose faith in AOE. And I also can understand people believing that the See You Later timeline being implemented into the anime so late is a retcon, because technically it is. Because anime Eren's dream is different, his reaction to that said dream is different, and the way that he cries is different. The only thing that stays the same is him waking up in the laying down position and the dialogue, which is important, and I will get into that later on. Now, with me realizing that this is a retcon, I also was able to realize that we might be in the middle of witnessing an author changing his mind on doing an AOE. And the reason why I somewhat believe that is because, as we all know, Isayama got inspired to create Attack on Titan by many things. Many things such as a painting, Norse mythology, a movie called The Arrival, a book called The Eternal Champion, and many more. But I would say that Isayama's biggest inspiration is Love. Majority of the things that happens in the story of Attack on Titan happens almost exactly like how it does in Love, but just with a twist on it. And with me saying that the way that Eren wakes up at the beginning of the anime is a complete copy and paste of how the main character from Love wakes up in Love Alternative, which is the alternative route to Love Unlimited. Now, the creator of Love doing this was a way for him to subliminally tell the fans that the story wasn't over like how they thought it was. So with us now knowing that Isayama copied and pasted the way that the main character from Love wakes up in Love Alternative for the way that Eren wakes up at the beginning of the anime, and also knowing about everything else, that's just too much fucking evidence that pretty much gives us the idea that Isayama was and probably still is treating the anime as an alternative version of the story of Attack on Titan. And that also gives us the idea that Isayama was always planning on doing an AOE back in 2013. I mean, why else would he copy and paste the alternative way that the main character from Love wakes up in Love Alternative for the way that Eren wakes up in the anime, but don't do the same thing for the way that Eren wakes up in the manga? I mean, like, what the fuck else would you be doing? So for all of that to now be changed to anime Eren waking up to Mikasa See You Later in the anime, it definitely gives you the idea that we're in the middle of witnessing an author changing his mind, which is not too far-fetched for an author like Isayama, knowing that Isayama changed his ending multiple times and also changed how and when certain characters died, and also knowing that Isayama got inspired off of a theory that a fan made. It's definitely not too far-fetched to believe that Isayama was planning on doing an AOE but is changing his mind. But let me explain why that just cannot be the case, even though it very well can be. And it's all because of somebody who was very close to Isayama and also close to the anime for Attack on Titan said about the See You Later timeline being shown in the anime. He said, oh, that's where this comes into play, which is very interesting because that pretty much gives us the idea even more that the way that Eren wakes up at the beginning of the anime was changed for a reason. And with that now being changed to this new way that Eren wakes up in the anime, it definitely gives us the idea that this change is made for a reason and that it's going to lead to a bigger purpose, which is AOE. Now the thing is that I prefer this new version of the way that Eren wakes up in the anime over the original one, because in this new version of how Eren wakes up under his tree in the anime pretty much shows us everything that we've been theorizing for the last couple of years, which is that anime Eren is waking up from the memories that come from an alternate version of himself, but there's a twist to it. Anime Eren is not only experiencing the events of the See You Later timeline, but he's also experiencing the events of the manga timeline at the exact same time. And the reason why we know this is because Mikasa saying See You Later is another version of adult Mikasa. A Mikasa who pretty much gave Eren a different answer towards his question, what am I to you? Which did not only create a different path, but also created a different version of Eren. A version of Eren who we like to call See You Later Eren. Then we end up seeing anime Kid Eren in a sitting down position, which is the exact same position that manga Kid Eren is in when he is asleep under his tree in the beginning of the manga. Then we end up seeing Kid Mikasa reaching for Kid Eren's head at the exact same time that See You Later Mikasa is reaching for See You Later Eren's head, which is a way to show us that memories are being relived. Then we end up seeing a black screen, which is a way to show us that Eren did die. Then it ends off with anime Eren waking up in a laying down position, which I would like to believe is the exact same position that manga adult Eren ends up being in when he's buried under his tree at the end of the manga. And even if that's not the case, we still know another reason as to why anime Eren wakes up in a laying down position in the anime. And it's all because of Isayama copying and pasting off of how the main character from Love Love wakes up in Love Love Alternative, which is the alternative route to Love Love Unlimited. So with anime Eren now waking up from the memories of the manga and also See You Later timeline, and then waking up in a laying down position, this could be Isayama's way of subliminally telling us that the story is not over like how we think it is, and this is basically anime Eren waking up in the alternative route to Attack on Titan, which is the anime. This is also a way to show us that all three timelines is connected, which it is. Isayama is pretty much doing the exact same thing that the creator of Love Love did at the very end of Love Love Alternative, which is basically showing and explaining that every ending to Love Love is connected and you do not get one without the other. And it's the exact same way for Attack on Titan. The See You Later timeline is connected to the manga timeline, and both the manga and See You Later timeline is connected to the anime timeline. Now, the more and more you look deeper into the new version of how Eren wakes up under his tree in the anime, the more and more you start to question why things is so fucking inconsistent when it comes to his dream, and also why it's not fucked up like this in the manga. Basically, Eren dreaming about him being in a certain position and then him waking up being in a different one. So we have to keep in mind that the memories that Eren receives in the beginning of the story, whether it's the manga or anime, are memories that he does not have access to until he enters the Titan Path. Eren being the founding Titan entering the Titan Path allows him to be able to gain memories from these different timelines, including gaining memories from the timeline that he forgot at the beginning of the story, whether it's the anime or the manga. So with us understanding that it takes Eren to have to be exposed to these different timelines, it makes sense as to why manga kid Eren would only be waking up from the memories of the See You Later timeline and only be copying See You Later Eren's position. Because these memories that were sent to manga kid Eren are memories that come from an Eren who never was exposed to these different timelines because of him going down a different path. But it's a little bit different when it comes to anime Eren. The memories that anime Eren wakes up from are memories that were sent from manga Eren, a version of Eren who was exposed to these different timelines, including the timeline that he had forgot at the beginning of the manga, which is the See You Later timeline. And because of him already having memories of the manga timeline, because it's his timeline, it would make sense for manga Eren to send memories from the manga and also See You Later timeline back to anime kid Eren because of the fact that manga Eren experienced both timelines. So because of manga Eren sending memories from both timelines back to anime kid Eren, that would explain why anime kid Eren is having a dream of him being in one position, but him waking up in another. This is the reason why anime Eren's reaction towards the Titan Path being so different than what it was in the manga was so important to us, because it showed us that this was a different Eren, a version of Eren who now remembers being inside the Titan Path before, because of him now being able to remember the timeline that he had forgot when he woke up under his tree in the anime timeline, which is the manga timeline, and now the See You Later timeline as well. So all of this makes so much fucking sense. And instead of questioning why everything is so inconsistent in the anime, we can now look at it from the perspective of like it's inconsistent for a reason. And all of this is one big ass fucking mess, which is why the lyric from the outro for Attack on Titan Final Season Part 3 Core 1, A Mess of Memories Under the Tree, is so fucking important because this is a mess of memories. It's all fucked up. But yeah, I think that this shit is going to most definitely happen. Like, this shit makes so much fucking sense. Like, I would be shocked if this does not happen. Like, I literally just broke all of this shit down to the point where this shit is back to being inevitable. But this is the end of the video. You got like, you got a comment, but I do appreciate it if it is something if you're new. And I'm out, bruh.
Hey, so what if the niggas make more? I knew my time would come and had to wait for it. So every night a nigga pray for it. Ain't no going back, the only way is forward. See some people they weren't made for. They roll it